welcome to Tales for the Field. Today I want to talk a little bit about modalities, what I've noticed about them as I've been around, and kind of my ranking of different modalities. So a lot of times people ask me, what do you think about this and what do you think about that? I'll start off by saying I don't have a problem with any modality. I think they're all beneficial, especially if it's beneficial to your horse, it's beneficial. So I don't have a modality that I have a problem with. I do have some that I favor over others. So let's talk a little bit about that. First of all, the best modality isn't a single modality. It's a combination, my opinion, of course. I think the combination of massage and Masterson method is the best. At this point in time, I don't even know how to do one without the other. Like, I just can't do it. I can try for a little while and then I end up going back to combining them. And what's happened over time is that I have melded them together in my own way, which is what you do after you've done things for a while, right? Anything you do, if you've done it for a while, you don't really follow the book anymore. You have made it your own, and you know, through experiences or through using whatever you're using, you start developing your own style. Okay, so I think that Masterson method with massage, and it doesn't really depend on what type of massage you learned, I don't think, is the best combo. Just together, they're so powerful and so transformative for horses that there's really nothing like it, I don't think. As far as chiropractic, I get asked a lot about chiropractic, like, what do you think about it? So with chiro, I love chiro, and I'm going to tell you why. Once a year, I don't know, I like to make an anniversary out of it or something, I will do something to my back. And it's generally in the same spot. It's generally from doing something that is not cool, you know, just like bending over to the side or something. It's always something really dumb. I will do something weird to my back. And let me tell you something. There is nothing that I want when that happens other than a chiropractor. There's nothing. I don't want a massage. I don't want medication. I don't want chocolate. I don't want anything but a chiropractor. Okay? So chiropractors are super important. Super important. And you know, there's no one else qualified to manipulate the skeleton, unless you're kind of talking like osteopath or something like that. Okay? So massage therapists should not be doing chiro, you know, whatever. People that randomly kind of have ideas shouldn't really be doing chiro. So when you need a chiropractor, you need a chiropractor. The thing is, though, you shouldn't need a chiropractor every month unless you have serious skeletal issues. I mean, just think about it logically. You shouldn't need a chiropractor every month. Okay? Now, there's going to be exceptions to that, obviously. Horses that do certain work, like compressive work, you know. Horses that have a predisposition to get locked up in certain areas. Okay, got it. But I think it's become part of a regimen, you know, where every month you have the chiropractor out, and your horse doesn't need that and shouldn't need it. Okay? Massage can definitely be used monthly for great benefits. Okay? And I also think that massage should be done before chiropractic. And what I've found is that if you have muscles that are stuck in a negative muscle pattern and you use a chiropractor, they can realign your horse, and then the muscles go, I'll take that back. Okay? So you're just tossing your money away. You might get temporary relief. It might stay, who knows? But if you're not addressing the muscles, you're like skipping steps that are really important. Okay? So, chiropractic, I love it. You shouldn't need it as much as a lot of people do it, and you should do massage first, or at least follow up very quickly afterward. But first would be better. I've also found that when you do massage a lot of the bones realign themselves, okay? So a lot of times when I'm working on the horse's neck, I'll just do a lot of work on their neck. I'll take them through a full range of motion. That's one way you can help your horse yourself, okay? Just take your horse through a full range of motion, and wherever they're hung up, try to identify the muscles that are stopping that particular area from being able to do full range of motion. Now, there's like I said, when I need a chiropractor, there ain't no massage therapist I want to talk to. But if you're keeping your horse in a full range of motion, you shouldn't need the chiropractor as much, okay? And as I was saying, when I'm working on these horses' necks and then I take them through a full range of motion, I step back and give that horse a break. And what happens is they start moving their neck like this. It's really interesting. I've seen it a lot this week because we're doing the neck through journey through the horse. They kind of like test the waters, and then pop, pop, pop. It cracks and it pops itself. So horses, I call that a self-adjustment. They're adjusting it themselves. But what was important, the important factor about that is you just loosen their neck up. They didn't do it when they were tight. Okay, so again, I feel like massage and Masterson method combined is just very powerful. Masterson method shows a lot of range of motion stuff, I think. You know, when he gets into the lateral flexion of the neck, and when he gets into leg, he calls it down and forward. He calls it the scapula release or something like that. But in actuality, it's a full range of motion, I think. It's kind of testing range of motion. So that is what it is. But yeah, so that's what I would consider really important about the chiro. I love a chiro, honestly. It's such an awesome modality and so fascinating, and I wish it wasn't so difficult to get certified or to do it in the state that I'm currently in, or I would love to learn some chiropractic. Okay, PEMF and MagnaWave and those modalities, I think they're beneficial for some horses. The issue I have with them is they're certainly not as beneficial as massage. Okay. Some horses really enjoy the PEMF and MagnaWave. They really enjoy it. Okay. So if you know you have a horse that really enjoys that, then that's definitely a modality that you should stick with for your particular horse. The issues that I have with those is that, one, it doesn't release the muscles if they're tight, okay? And two, it does not take care of trigger points or stress points. And I know that because and it doesn't do anything with range of motion. I can come behind somebody who just did PEMF on a horse, and I can find trigger points and stress points, okay? So trigger points and stress points are painful, and stress points are believed to be a pre-injury situation going on because they believe that is causing a weak point in the system. So if your horse has stress points, you're definitely going to want somebody who can manually manipulate the body and get rid of those stress points. Okay. But PEMF and MagnaWave, some horses really enjoy it, and sometimes, like I talk about, a lot of the situations are kind of stress or relaxation related. So if you can get your horse to relax, you're doing a great benefit to them. So if your horse really enjoys PEMF or MagnaWave and they relax when they're getting it done, and they release tension through the relaxation and like maybe the emotional relaxation, that's very beneficial. Another modality that is gaining popularity is electroacuoscope and electromyopulse. I really like it. I think it's super important that the people are trained properly. So if they have not been trained by the organization that does the training, I don't trust them, okay? Because I don't want somebody just taking over somebody's machine and then going like, all right, I'm going to give this a whirl. I want you to be trained on it. And so I think that's really important that you find out where they're trained from. But, and you know what? I'm going to have someone on one of my Zoom calls that talks about this, because it's it's kind of a confusing modality if you ask them what they're doing, like what it does. Okay. So I'll have somebody on to explain it, and we'll get a little bit more detail. That'd be a good idea. I have experience with electroacuoscope and electromyopulse because my dad's horse had it done regularly. And my dad's horse was old, and he would get stiff. And so my dad would have that done. And it would just help him move easier and better. Okay. And then it was really interesting because when he would forget to set the appointment up or whatever, I would be able to tell that Dakota needed another treatment just by the way that he was moving. So that's how beneficial it was. And I feel like it lasted a fair amount of time, and the price was pretty reasonable. Okay. So electroacuoscope, electromyopulse, I like that. We use that for my dad's horse's kind of arthritis and stiff joints. It's also used for injury recovery. Okay. And it's also used as a diagnostic tool. So it's really cool. And I don't want to talk about it in depth because I certainly don't know enough, but all I know is that they take a body count, okay, with these electrode little things, pens, and they take a body number, and every other reading based after that body number is based on the body number. So you want it all to be within plus or minus 7 or 10 or something like that for it to be healthy. So then if you take other readings down the legs, and then you find out that the fetlock is, minus 20 from what the body count is, then obviously you have an issue with the fetlock. So it's used as a diagnostic tool. And then you can also change the frequency on it. And, it's used for healing, so recovery and rehab. So I do like that a lot. And I always have that kind of done on my horses just to see where areas are that I need to be aware of. And then my dad used it regularly for his gelding, and I noticed the benefits from that. So yeah, those are kind of and then Reiki, you can get into energy work. It's super irritating that my mare responds so well to Reiki. The first time, I'm not going to get into my history with her, but she was feral when I got her, and she had a lot of walls built up, emotional walls. They were thick and they were sturdy, and she had them in place for a long time when I got her. And so I would, try to do body work, and I'll tell you what, I have transformed so many horses emotionally with body work that, I was just confident I'm going to be able to help her, and, she's going to love body work and da-da-da-da-da. And I just wasn't getting the results with her that I got with like all my clients pretty much. So that's fitting. But I was like, I'm going to try Reiki. I don't know what it is. And personally, my own personal belief about it is I don't think it is what they say it is. I think it's something for sure because Georgia had a huge benefit from it. But sometimes it gets off on these paths that I don't want to go down. So, I don't know what it is, but I know it's beneficial to my mare. And, the first time she had Reiki, she yawned for the first time. And I was like, good. All right. Good. It wasn't from a massage, it was from Reiki. And, I'm not going to learn Reiki, and, I don't know a ton about it. So it was kind of like, oh my gosh, how annoying. She's going to, benefit from something I don't do, but that's the way it goes. So anyways, I would check back with that and, get some appointments for her occasionally. So it's super interesting, Reiki. And, some horses benefit from it a lot. And so, yeah, it's a nice addition, like I said, to body work. But I keep going back to, there's nothing like massage and Masterson method. It just does so much for the body and the mind and the emotions that, you can't make that up with a machine. You just can't. And when the machines are kind of in charge of stuff, even, people will even ask me what I think about massage guns. Okay, so something similar, like, what do you think about this tool instead of doing massage. I don't have a problem with massage guns, okay? But it isn't as good as the best. And so if you have the ability to do the best, then why wouldn't you do that? Okay, so massage guns are great for people that have weaker hands or, a weaker, shoulders or arms, or they get tired or they have a really thick horse, and they just got to get a little help. I carried a massage gun around with me for probably 2 months and just kind of used it on all my clients to kind of see how it could benefit me as a practitioner and the horse. And it takes a little bit of the workout, okay, but to me it wasn't beneficial enough for me to incorporate it into what I do. But I think for the horse owner, it could definitely benefit, because you can get some of the work done with the gun where you're just holding it and moving it around, okay, and you can kind of save your body, and then you can do more precise work yourself, okay. So with that being said, as I just mentioned, I think that you as a horse owner should learn how to do basic massage. And that's why I created my online clinic. The benefits that your horse can get from you doing basic massage are profound. Okay, they will shock you how much you can help your own horse with just basic stuff. And if you're following my Facebook page, you see me do some of this basic stuff. It doesn't take any skill or talent, okay? It just takes you learning it and then applying it, and you're going to find great benefits. And then if you want to go a little bit further on that, you can do like one-on-one coaching with me, or you can join Journey Through the Horse, and we all do it together. It's super fun. So yeah, just learn some basic massage for your horse, and you're going to be blown away at how much you can help them physically and emotionally. And I feel like some horses need physical help, and some horses need emotional help, and some horses need both. Okay, and my clinic takes care of both. So if your horse needs physical, or if they need emotional, or if they need both, you're covered. Okay. And I just don't feel like some of the other modalities can say that. But if your horse likes a different modality, do it. It's awesome. I would definitely try modalities on your horse and see if they benefit. Like Georgia likes Reiki. Okay, cool, good to know. So if I'm having a lot of issues with Georgia, I'm gonna go get a Reiki session. And that's been really fun. Okay, just kind of trying different stuff. I did electroacuoscope and myopulse on Georgia also, and I've done MagnaWave. No, I haven't done MagnaWave on her, or PEMF. That would be interesting, actually. I should do that. I should schedule that. Anyways, so there you go. That's my opinion on modalities. Obviously, people in different modalities are going to disagree, but I'm pretty sure, based off what I've seen, Masterson method and massage is where it's at. Put them together. Nothing like it. And then chiropractic when you need it. All right, cool. Talk to you guys later. Bye.